Hello everybody, JayborinoPlays here. I'm returning to Stormcraft Armies. This is no longer Armies of Strom, this is Worlds Collide. Now, this is actually a cooperative version of Stormcraft Armies, so I'm going to be playing with Hellforger, one of the lead devs for Stormcraft Armies. If you remember, Stormcraft Armies revolves around interesting, it's kind of a total conversion mod. I wouldn't say it's a, I wouldn't say it's partial, it's pretty much a total conversion mod. So if you remember, there's Kingdoms from Stromgarde, Warsong Clan, and Zerg, and the goal is they're going to add lots and lots of new factions over time, but the idea is they're drawing from different Blizzard universes, so think Heroes of the Storm, but an RTS version is what they're going for here. So we actually just played a practice match, and it looks like Hellforger is going to be playing as the Hellscream Vanguard. I am going to go ahead and play Niadra. Now, there's something about this cooperative mode that I like a lot, and I will explain it to you as we get started. But let's get going. I've played one game as Niadra, and I'll explain it as we go. But the cooperative leveling system, there is a leveling system for this, is that it functions very similar to the official StarCraft 2 cooperative mode. So the idea is as you play, the more you play, you're able to unlock more things. So you can see with Niadra, a lot of things are locked, just like cooperative mode. You go into her leveling up abilities, a lot of this stuff is locked. And as you play, you level up, and it's just like the official Blizzard cooperative modes. And it uses bank files, I assume, to keep track of what you've done, which I think is just absolutely fantastic. So this is going to tell us a little bit about Niadra. I'll just go ahead and explain it to you. Now, I like Niadra because she's Zerg. It's interesting to see drones harvesting lumber, mining gold. It'd be interesting to see maybe a little asset for the gold that the drones can return, and same with the lumber. It's you can't really see otherwise. I'm just going to go ahead and get some drones. Now, we did just play against casual AI, and it really wasn't as easy as I would have expected, and part of that is because we have so many things that are locked with our different factions. Now, he's playing the Hellscream Vanguard up here, so he's got his little peons mining. See, they've got the little gold sacks and the lumber returning. Actually, I really like the look of those units up there. So the way that Niadra works, not really similar to Zerg, but similar to Zerg in the sense that you have to get a spawning pool. You have to get different buildings. Now, one thing I've noticed with Niadra's Brood is that it seems like the building just sort of pops up as it's building. There's also the building animation underneath it, so I wonder if that's something small that can be adjusted. Now, the big thing with Niadra's Brood is pretty much everything is built straight from Niadra. Now, right now, I'm only available to build Zerglings and Scorpithids because of my level. I'm only level 2. We did play one map right now, but I'm also going to go ahead and grab a Scorpithid den right here. Now, the only way to spread creep at the moment is to build more, not hives, but they're called hive splinters, and eventually we're going to want to come up here and one of us will take this expansion while the other one maybe takes one over here. But the AI it's not super easy. I do know that he just recently updated it, so it may be pretty challenging. I do plan on making a few spine crawlers here. So here's my Scorpithid den, which allows me to build Scorpithids straight from Swarm Queen Niadra. Once we get a level on Niadra, it will become more clear how you use her to spawn units and how you use her upgrades and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get a spine crawler, maybe a second one actually, because again, the AI, you can expect the AI to come and attack you pretty soon. So again, here we have another case where the building just sort of appears. I understand some of the stuff is custom, but like this building, spawning pool, hives, spine crawlers aren't. It's probably, within the mod, they've been modified a little bit because they do different damage and have different amounts of stats like that, so maybe they appear differently. That just needs to be maybe modified a tiny bit. So a big thing with Niadra, I'm gonna go ahead and throw down some Zerglings and get a couple Scorpithids as well. Is he getting attacked? No, he's attacking into some neutral creeps here. Neutral's very important on these maps. Is that her units have this thing called cellular degeneration. So basically, if they're not near Niadra, they just lose HP all the time. So Niadra is very, very, very important to keep alive overall. I'm going to get some more Zerglings here. So I'm getting attacked right here. There's our talent choice that popped up right here. So there's two things in terms of health. You'll see they have these this shield right here. It's kind of like a psionic shield. That goes up when you're standing on the creep. So you have a nice defensive bonus as Niadra if you're on creep. The only way to spread creep is to build hive splinters right now. Eventually Niadra can spread it herself. Now, outside of that, is he going to need help? I think I can send some units up to help him. Now, if you're not near Niadra, your units take just normal damage, like straight up damage. It's pretty wild. Oh, it looked like he pulled the neutral creeps out to help him kill some of that other stuff. Oh, I accidentally attacked into these creeps right here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. Niadra does have this nuke Psionic Bolt. It's pretty good. It's just a giant, like, 200, 300 damage nuke and stun. Does he still need help? Not really, but I'll come up here. It's a lot more micro-oriented. Again, it's Warcraft 3-oriented combat, where your units do less damage and have more health. Anyway, this talks about our talent choices. Every time you get a talent, it will tell you that you have one. So Niadra, I actually have to hotkey her, and it's important she doesn't die, is under talents. Remember when I showcased this before, I was a little confused on how these talents worked. The idea is you can only have one from each row. So at level 2 here, I unlocked a point for biomass manipulation. Next level, I'll have one for psionic. Next one, I'll have psionic potential. So within here, I can only pick one per column. So I can pick either getting Zerglings in groups of 3 or Zerglings respawn instantly and cost less. I'm going to go ahead and get the Zerglings cost less and are instant. I think that's just fantastic. So my goal right now is to make a bunch of Zerglings and then move out. And I kind of want to push into this area and try to take this gold base, but killing these trolls is very challenging, so I may want to do that with my ally here once Hellforger is ready. And I'm probably going to go ahead and get some more spine crawlers. How much do those cost? More lumber than gold, which is good. I also really want to make another hive splinter. That's a lot of gold, though, that I don't have. Just because I want to spread the creep, I want that defensive bonus for when the enemy attacks me. Now, it looked like the enemy also was playing... Was that orcs? I actually don't even remember, but the enemies you're playing against are also from Stormcraft armies, so you have to keep in mind, these developers created an AI for these co-op maps for you to play against their own factions, which, sure, they could have just said, yeah, go ahead and play against Terran Protoss Zerg. I mean, I have no idea how these things balance against that. I would imagine not at all, just because you do so much... Well, you kind of do the same amount of damage, but your units have so much more health. So it's just like the cost is just so different. Let me come on up here. It looks like he's getting attacked by a Battle Master. So the enemy is also... It looks like the enemy is also playing as orcs. There might be a different faction here, but I'm going to come up and help him just in case. I don't think he needs help, but, you know, why not give him a little bit of help. And again, I like this idea that you have to be near Niadra, otherwise you just take extra damage. It's quite interesting. We got a level on Niadra. Again, Niadra's, it's a bit more of a role-playing type thing because of all these upgrades that you can get. So this is going to pop up every time. It's going to tell you, now you have a point in psionic projection. I'm not going to open that every time. So the only thing we can get right now is Shocking Bolt, which basically just makes Psionic Bolt better. It increases the stun. That's great. So let's grab that. Now again, these are the only things I have unlocked in these next tiers once we get there. So those are the only things we can get, and I really, really like the progression system here. It's what I think makes the cooperative mode of Legacy of the Void really fun to play, is the progression system. So that's been incorporated here. So, you know, as they slowly move through beta and fix bugs and, you know, just add features to this, I think that this progression system really makes this a really, really interesting map. Now, when I showcased this last time, it was a multiplayer PvP, which, you know, for me, I'm not that knowledgeable about player versus player stuff, especially with Warcraft 3, so it was definitely a new experience. So, you know, it was a slower game. It was hard for me to follow a little bit. I think some of the players had left halfway through, but, you know, we're in a situation now where, again, I really like this cooperative play, and if you're curious right now, I'm just sort of waiting for my my psionic carapace to build up on my scorpithids so that I can move up and destroy the creeps, the troll creeps that are defending this gold base. I'm going to ask him if he wants to go up there and try to destroy those trolls. And meanwhile, again, I'm waiting because, you know, it's free HP, and it doesn't degrade when you're off the creep. So that makes it very, very good. So that's a good idea. We should wait for the next AI wave, and then we will go ahead and attack. I really want to make a hive splinter out here, but I also need to save my gold to make a hive splinter once we move up here. If we take this base, we probably want to go for, I'm going to imagine, perhaps this one, or maybe this one. Oh, there's rock golems defending those. Yikes. Because we want to each have an expansion. Now, again, because I'm only level 2, the only things I can build are Zerglings and Scorpithids. Eventually, there's more units that I can build. But I really like this Niadra faction. I like the upgrades that come straight from Niadra. I like how you can build straight from Niadra as well. There's no supply with Niadra, which is quite interesting. I don't know if there's a cap on how much she can build. You're really just restricted by your money, and off of one base, as you can see, I can't build that much. Still waiting for that AI wave. It's really tempting. I could come up here. I'm gonna do it against Hellforger's best wishes. Let's see if we can make this happen. I don't see... It doesn't look like there's any troll shadow priests here that are going to come out here and heal. So let's just get in here. Just this big troll warlord's going to go down pretty quick. We hit him with the psionic bolts. We now have our next point in psionic potential, which we have nothing unlocked. So that point is, I wouldn't say worthless, but we can't do anything with it only because there's... I'm being attacked in my base, by the way. We can't do anything with it just because, you know, we get stat upgrades, but that's about it. Okay, I'm going to come back to my base. I'm going to lose my Scorpithid den, unfortunately. So let's get down here. Let's get on the creep, and Niadra just spawn a bunch of Zerglings. That's a lot of Zerglings. I really like how you can spawn those instantly. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and hit their Battle Master with a Psionic Bolt. So each faction gets their own champion. I would argue that Niadra is the best just because, well, she's the best, but she's a double-edged sword, because if she dies, you are just completely shit out of luck. All right, let's head back up here and get back into killing these trolls. We have 2 more points. I do like how it notifies you of that, and you can just dismiss those tips. So what do we have here? Nothing here. Nothing here. Yeah, so the only thing we can level up is in Psionic Potential. And again, this is a progression system. If you play player versus player, which may still be the Armies of Strom map on the arcade, yeah, I'll put information in the description for how to play these, what to search for on the arcade to play these if you so choose. I think you have to, yeah, there's 2 separate maps. So this was Worlds Collide, which is the cooperative mode, and then Armies of Strom, which is the opposite. So let's go ahead and throw down a new Scorpithid den. He's pushing up here because he wants to take this gold base. I am inclined to go and help him. My Hive Splinter's coming up. I can't make more Scorpithids. Let's just make some Zerglings and move out and help him out. I'm curious to see what the other upgrades are. I think it'd be interesting to see if you could see what these are when you mouse over them, but just know that you can't get them. Like, it's still the locked icon, but it gives you a little information. Oh, this gold base is free. There's no creeps there. Okay, well, I don't have to go and help him. I'm not sure. I think maybe upgrading your Scorpithids and Zerglings actually happens. Everything is straight through Niadra. It seemed like this was like my Zergling upgrade tier when I chose the instant build one. So again, we've seen a lot of changes since the last time we played. I like the tree models. They're much different, I think, than the last time we played. One thing that was not a bug but was intended, if you remember me pointing this out last time, is you can move through the trees. But it does split your groups. You can't clump your units up. So, like, for Niadra, I'm mostly melee. Attacking through trees might not be the best opportunity for me, just because my Zerglings can't get a full surround in the trees. It can help me move undetected, but otherwise I don't think it's the best of ideas. So again, we're on normal, and the enemy attacks are pretty challenging, only because I don't have much of an opportunity to get any more upgrades or anything like that. So that makes this quite interesting. I've been wondering, okay, so I do have a passive heal, assuming I'm not stuck with this DNA degeneration. So in case you're wondering how this is explained, it's basically saying there's an incompatibility with the DNA of Niadra's brood, which is why, unless Niadra's around, your units just take damage. Now, I don't know if that's halted when you're on the creep, so say Niadra dies. Does that just mean that you can expect your whole army to just die? That's the big risk you take when you play as Niadra, is if Niadra dies, you're looking at a loss. If the enemy presses their advantage and Niadra is dead before she respawns, you are pretty much done. Anyway, it's 5 workers per gold mine for full saturation, and then I'll probably put some more on trees up here too, so we can grab this. I may make another Hive Splinter here pretty soon, just because, again, I really want to spread some creep, and I don't have any options to spread creep. Eventually, Niadra gets some sort of ability to spread creep. I actually think it's in the tips, somewhere down here. Yeah, creep usage for Niadra's brood. So it's basically saying you get your little psionic shell on the creep. Units spawn have a shell that spawns with them. And then Hive Splinters are the only way to spread creep. Once Spawn Queen Niadra reaches level 6, she will gain the ability to use Noxious Creep, which will permanently spread a creep to a target area. So that's great. The question is, do I even have that unlocked? So I think, does it mean level 6 on Niadra, or does it mean level 6 in the progression system of the map? I'm not sure, but I'm sure that's something we'll find out soon. Once they attack me again, I would feel pretty comfortable to move out. I want to get a lot of these Scorpithids. Now our upgrades are looking pretty darn good. Now again, Warcraft 3 is different than Starcraft 2. These neutral camps they function differently. Like, they're much more important to the game. So as we move out, you see us attacking these ogres, you see us attacking these trolls. That's a big part of the game. It's to clear It's to clear the map of them. Now, keep in mind, these are also going to be hostile to the enemy AI, but if there's one thing I could take away from this and I could convey to you is the progression system really makes this replayable and interesting, in my opinion. I mean, it's certainly interesting without the progression system, but it makes you want to play a lot more. I'm going to go back to the creep. I see my allies getting attacked, so I'm going to go over and help him. I'm going to get some more drones and start mining down in this direction. I can't tell if I'm clicking on the trees properly or not. I'm also going to go ahead and make there's another hive splinter. So I'm coming in to help him. We're going to clean this up pretty handily. I'm going to go ahead and... oh, do they have 2 Battle Masters? That's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and use that Sonic Bolt, which stuns for 3 seconds. It looks like Grom is getting smoked. He needs to get Grom out of there. I'm going to go down and try to help him if I can. Okay, he's running Grom away. Oh, dear. Oh, Grom is in serious trouble. I'm going to see if I can get down to help him. If I can get through here without aggroing any other creeps, I'll be okay. But for the most part, I just want to escort him. All right, now we have a rock golem. So I basically opened the door for Grom to escape, which is fine. All right, more talent choices. Let me just double check to see. I don't think I have anything left. Oh, no, I do. Psi-enhanced cells. So let me move back to my creep again. Now I have my hive splinter that's spreading the creep, which is excellent. We have great income now. I'm about to get attacked by this group. It looks like they're massing up to attack me. I'm going to move on in here. Okay, and now attack, and I need more Zerglings. And they spawn instantly, so let's get them in there. I basically need those to defend my Scorpithids. The Scorpithids do a lot of damage, but they're going to get smoked. And then I also really want to check to see what options I have. Scorpithid have gained the Orc Slayer trait for killing enough orcs. Which one is that? This unit excels against fighting orcs. Whenever this unit is fighting with an orc, it gains a Battlemaster buff, gaining offensive bonuses. So each individual unit has that. That's not all my Scorpithids, that's just one. So when your individual units kill a certain number of a type of unit, then they get these traits, which is awesome. So you can see Orc Slayer, Human Slayer, Zerg Slayer. And I think that's a really, really cool addition. It makes you want to worry about each of your individual units more, which I think is really, really, really neat. We did see this in the multiplayer iteration of this as well. So next we can get our last thing here. Psi-enhanced cells. Psionic energy projects into your cells, making them enhanced. So Niadra gets more life and more armor. And I wonder if the Psionic Shell and Psionic Carapace probably buffs her units a little bit, like increases how fast the Psionic Carapace, I don't know, regenerates or something like that. But the only option we have right here are these Psi-enhanced cells. That's fine. Anything that makes Niadra a little more survivable is good for me. I'm thinking we're good to move out here. So I'm going to go ahead and... is he saturated here? Okay, so he's mining properly. You do have to be careful with an auto attack, because if you auto attack, odds are some of your units might end up moving through trees, which might not be what you want them to do. So I'm going to move through these trees and try to cut off the orcs on this side and support Hellforger. Never mind, I didn't realize this was upraised. So now, either way, I'm going to be able to get in here. Grom's sort of getting smoked. I'm going to go ahead and use a Sonic Bolts, or yeah, Sonic Bolts, is that what it's called? Yeah, on their enemy hero. And then I'm just going to keep spawning stuff. As you can see, I'm just spawning a ton of Zerglings. The only issue is that the Psionic Shell with Niadra is, I don't know. It's great that you can spawn units in combat, but it seems like they've balanced it such that even though you can spawn tons of units, they're basically spawning with half health. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's pretty interesting. Increases Niadra's sonic projection rating by 5 and her maximum energy by 100. The energy increase doesn't seem great right now because I don't have many things on her, but I like that her sonic projection is increased, which means that my units won't suffer health damage if they're if they're too far away from her. It just increases that radius. But again, I feel like Niadra is very powerful, but it's a double-edged sword. Again, as I'm attacking right now, I can spawn a ton of Zerglings, but they're spawning with what is basically half of their potential health. Okay, so wow, the enemy builds a lot of watchtowers. So we've found the orcs. It seems like they are focused on fell energies. We saw that they had warlocks. So when you're playing as the Warsong Clan, you can go down 2 or 3 different paths. Very similar to Niadra, though, with the picking your upgrades. And then the Stormcraft armies, Stromgarde, they have different sub-factions that you can pick. So it's there's many different ways you can play this, and again, I really, really, really like the cooperative opportunities with the progression system. I think it's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and spawn just a crap ton of Zerglings. And it looks like we took out one AI here. And again, the progression system, very, very, very similar. One thing I've noticed with Niadra is maybe give her an attack animation. She just sort of stands here and skitters as she attacks. Maybe just make her, like, give her the attack animation of a normal queen. I do like her little side bolt that she shoots. But perhaps if you make it so that she has like a... What did I get here? Oh, I gain 100 experience for my chosen sub-faction. That's great. So this is how it keeps track of it. So yeah, anyway, give her an attack animation for when she shoots that sonic bolt. No, not sonic bolt. Her normal auto attack, whatever it's called. So let's go and find the last AI. It seems like once you kind of spiral out of control and have an expansion, you're in really, really good shape. And again, it was a struggle early on. The AI is not a joke early on, but you're able to do some serious damage later. I don't want to bother with the ogres, so let's see if we can avoid those. And attack in here. Again, the Scorpithids are really what are gonna be doing a lot here. My Zerglings are gonna die very fast because they're at what is effectively half health. Once we get to level 6 though, and we can spawn that creep anywhere, that would be huge. We could spawn some creep right here, and then we could fall back to it if we ever need. But I'm pretty sure we've won. Oh, this faction has 2 Battle Masters. They have 2 heroes. Maybe that's just something that the orcs get. It seems like these orcs have chosen to not go down the Fel Orc path. I don't know. I think there's Fel Orcs. There's like a Shaman option, and then like a pure straight up like just beat you in the face with an axe option. I don't know. I'm being attacked. I'm thinking if we just destroy this base, what I'm gonna do is take Niadra. I'm gonna move back. It looks like Hellforger is defending me. I'm going to send Niadra home, and then I can spawn my units once I'm back. Now, unfortunately, I can't build anything from my hatchery, or hive splinters, rather. I'm interested to know what I can build from my hives. I really have no idea, but again, it's once you level up, you know, you'll learn these types of things. But I'm going to leave some of... Yeah, I'm leaving my Scorpithids here, but I'm sending Niadra back. I have so much money that I can spawn stuff... like instantly once I start engaging these guys, and then I can use my Sonic Bolt to destroy their Battle Masters pretty quick. I wonder if the enemy had expansions, or perhaps these units had already moved out. Okay, well, we destroyed their base down here just in time. But anyway, this is quite interesting. I was a little confused once we got started. It's whenever I'm playing cooperative, you know, you only have one shot. Sometimes I'll start a recording and mess up, and then I can just stop and start again. When we started this, you know, I was kind of nervous the AI was going to come and attack me really fast, because, again, we played on casual, and I struggled a little bit. So I was really focused on playing, and then there was a lot to explain. But this is very, very, very neat. Make sure you search for Stormcraft Armies on the arcade, or probably just Stormcraft would find it. There should be 2 maps. Worlds Collide is the cooperative mode. You can play by yourself. You can play with 2 people. You can play with 3 people. You can play with 4 people, and it just, you know, you can add AAs or not. And the way that the XP progresses is, say you play, you know, we play 2v2. We each get, I believe, 200 XP, which is divided between the 2 of us. So we each get 100 XP for each enemy base that we destroy. So we destroyed 2 AIs, 2 enemy bases, 400 total divided by 2. You can add AIs for, you know, just you versus 4 AIs. You could do 2v1 AI. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. The point is, there's a lot of different ways that you can play this, and it's not just a 2-person cooperative. You can play by yourself if you want. Anyway, really, really, really cool. I'm enjoying this a lot, and I actually plan on playing this off camera just because I want to see how the progression system works more. I want to see what more options I can get. Anyway, this has been Jay Borino. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.